A commenter is asking, what is going on in a man's mind when he puts his hands on you? Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. This commenter writes, why does a man feel like he has the right to strangle you if you leave him? What is going on in his mind when he does this? These are interesting questions. First of all, a person who does this is not rational. So they're not in a rational state of mind. They are in the state of mind where they feel like they are losing control. If you're going to leave them, even if they've told you that I don't care if you leave, and then there are a lot of people who tell you to do things, but don't ever think that you will actually follow through. And so if you're actually following through, that person is shocked and they feel like they're losing control, and that they're going to recant that, or they're going to take away your right to freedom to exit stage left. So that is kind of what they're thinking, like you can't go out into the world. And I think that's number one, to put it in a mild way. Number two, that person is thinking that they're going to kill you. I'll just be honest with you there. So strangulation and property destruction are, top signs that someone will take it there with you and will, nix you right off this planet. That is a sign that someone's going to take it there, and that they are very dangerous. So that's number two, that they're going to kill you. Number three, most likely, again, and this isn't always, there can be some exceptions, but most likely this person has put their hands on you before. And if they put their hands on you before, this is probably an escalation to that. And so they may have felt like, you ain't going to do anything. I can overpower you, and there's not going to be any consequence except the ones that I'm enforcing. So if I can do this to you, I will, choke your butt back right into this relationship. So that's kind of what he's thinking, and there ain't anything that you're going to do about it. I can overpower you. Number four, this person is in a fit of rage. And when they are in a fit of rage, they are unable to control their emotions, so they become impulsive, they become violent, and then they want to, move some stuff around, and rearrange some things, including you. So that's kind of what that person is thinking there. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. This person is beyond the point of like talking, problem solving, and things like that. So they're beyond that point. They've gone straight to, seeing red. I'm going to put my hands on you, and I'm not going to stop until either I get ready or something else happens to like interrupt that. They have already decided that if you're going to leave, they're going to be the one to take you out. And I hate to put it that way, but that's what a lot of strangulation leads to. That like, okay, well, you'll leave, but I'll be the one to make you leave this earth, because if I can't have you, nobody can. I don't want you being with anybody else. I don't want you doing anything else. And I don't want you living life outside of my control. And so they are attempting to dominate that for you. He not only feels like you're not going to do anything, but he feels like no one else can do anything. And he's willing to take it there, take that extreme measures of doing that. He's extremely self-destructive. Destructive towards you, and completely unpredictable, which makes him dangerous and irrational. And so if this is something that you're going through, I would implore you to, really consider getting out of it. Your life is at stake. Anybody else who is in the home with you, their life could be at stake as well. Even if you walk on eggshells, even if you do anything right, the person who cannot control themselves when they do this is really dangerous, and they need to work on things independently of you, and vice versa. You need to work on things independently of them. You also need to exercise extreme caution, when leaving this person. And you probably, again, I don't know you and you don't know me, but we don't know each other, at least not that I'm aware of. If you were to leave, I would completely detach from everybody. I would not keep the same. I would get rid of my cell phone. I would get rid of everything. I would basically disappear without a trace. There's ways in which you can do that. You can get a safe mailbox. There is also the Underground Railroad, which you could look that up. There's domestic violence shelters. I recommend, if you were to seek a shelter, I recommend, if possible, you do it in another state. Do it far away to where it can't be, you can't be found, and get you some counseling and get you some help, and really try to, build yourself back up, because again, your questions are interesting, but you ask them in a way in which it seems normal, and that makes me concerned for you, even though I don't know you. So, if you have a counselor, great. Hopefully you're talking to them. If not, you can call the National Domestic Violence Counselor Hotline, or check with your insurance carrier. If you don't have insurance, you can check with openpathcollective.org. They're low-fee counselors and things like that, if you can. Be careful with electronics, including your car and things like that. If you were to do that, those things can be tracked and traced, without your knowledge or consent. So that's something you want to be careful with. But this person is very unpredictable. This person has thought about killing you before, if it's gotten to that point. So just be careful with that. Good luck to you. I'm sorry that this has happened. Nobody ever should feel comfortable enough to put their hands on you in that way. Your personal safety, your personal bodily autonomy is your birthright. So no one needs to ever be able to be in a space where they feel like they can do that. In my opinion, my professional opinion, things have gone too far to walk it back or work it out as a couple, so I would not recommend couples counseling. In fact, that might actually put you in more danger. So I don't recommend couples counseling at this juncture. The only time I would recommend couples counseling for a couple that's ever had a history of violence, there needs to be at least a year to 2 years with no history of violence, so violence-free. But if there's any sort of violence, including verbal and all of that kind of stuff, I would not recommend getting counseling together at this time. So just be careful with that, and good luck. Like, comment, and share. Thank you guys so much. Take care.